You must drink protein within 30 minutes after your workout. It's something we've heard for years. So we finish training and rush for protein before we even catch our breath. But recent research tells a very different story. 30 minutes? Not necessary. Within 1 to 2 hours is perfectly fine. So the real question becomes this. That golden window we believed in. Was it ever actually supported by science? Today, we're breaking down the origin and fall of the 30-minute myth, and the protein timing that modern research actually supports. Part 1. The anabolic window is much wider than we thought. In the past, people believed that the first 30 to 60 minutes after training was the golden time for muscle protein synthesis (MPS). But later studies showed that this narrow window doesn't truly represent how the body works. Moore et al., 2009. About 20 grams of protein after resistance training nearly maximized MPS. And this elevated response stayed high for several hours. For larger athletes, 40 grams produced better results. Atherton, Bird, Areta, and others. MPS peaks during the first 3 to 5 hours. Then gradually declines but often remains above baseline for 24 hours. Sometimes even longer depending on training status. This doesn't mean MPS stays at its peak for 48 hours only elevated above baseline. Damas et al., 2016. Muscle sensitivity and recovery signaling remain elevated for 24 to 48 hours. But that does not mean MPS stays maximized the whole time. The key point is simple. MPS stays elevated for many hours after training. The 30-minute rule is unnecessarily restrictive. The anabolic window isn't a narrow doorway. It's a wide open window. Part 2. Where did the 30-minute myth come from? This myth started with early studies on increased post-exercise blood flow. Tipton, 2001. When essential amino acids EAA were consumed right before training. More amino acids reach the muscle than when consumed right after. But the context matters. Performed in a fasted state. Measured only acute amino acid responses. Did not measure long-term hypertrophy. Used EAA only, not real meals. Tipton's results simply describe an acute blood flow effect. Not that pre-workout protein is always superior. But as the findings spread, nuances were lost. And the 30-minute golden window myth was born. Part 3. Total daily protein matters far more than timing. Schoenfeld and Aragon, 2013 meta-analysis. Across many studies, the conclusion was clear. Hypertrophy is driven mainly by total daily protein intake, not the precise timing. When total intake was controlled, the timing advantage almost disappeared. Moore, 2009. 20 grams maximized MPS. McNaughton, 2016. 40 grams produced higher MPS after high-volume training. Tromelin summary. 20 grams saturates MPS, 40 grams provides a modest additional boost. Recommended daily intake 1.6 grams per kilogram. So, meeting your daily protein target is far more important than hitting a precise post-workout minute mark. Part 4. The exception: older adults. For most people, timing doesn't matter much. But older adults respond differently. Katsanos 2005, Koopman 2010. Older adults have lower anabolic sensitivity. So the same protein dose produces a weaker MPS response. Esmark et al., 2001. In 74-year-old men, only the group that consumed protein immediately after training showed muscle growth. The group that waited 2 hours saw almost no change. But this study had major limitations. Only 13 participants, a single exercise program, only 10 grams of protein. Verdick et al., 2009. Showed no meaningful difference between pre- and post-workout timing. Interpretation: older adults may benefit more from immediate intake. But results are not perfectly consistent. Timing is helpful, but not the deciding factor. Part 5. What modern research says about protein timing. Areta et al., 2013. Consuming 20 grams protein every 3 hours produced the highest 12-hour MPS. Acute study not directly tied to long-term hypertrophy. Tromelin and Van Loon, 2023. Comparing 25 grams versus 100 grams protein. 100 grams caused a larger and longer-lasting anabolic response. Measured not only by signaling but by actual myofibrillar protein incorporation. Important context: acute study, not a recommendation to eat 100 grams at once. Long-term hypertrophy not tested. Practical dose remains 20 to 40 grams. This study simply shows that the anabolic response lasts longer than we previously assumed. Worth et al., 2020 meta-analysis. Protein supplementation improves hypertrophy and strength, but timing itself shows little consistent added benefit. ISSN position stand. Protein before or after training is effective, but the post-exercise 30-minute rule is not scientifically required. Summary: protein timing isn't irrelevant, but it's not nearly as rigid as once believed. Part 6. Fasted versus fed training. Fasted training. If you train after an overnight fast, blood amino acids are low. Post-workout protein becomes more important. Fed training. Amino acids from a meal last 3 to 5 hours, casein 6-7 hours. So if you trained after eating, whether you take protein immediately or 1 to 2 hours later, the difference is minimal. Part 7. Protein before training works too. Tipton, 2001. Protein EAA 1 to 2 hours before training. Maintains amino acids during exercise. Boosts post-exercise MPS. Meaning, if you had protein before your workout, there's no need to rush afterward. Again, acute findings, not long-term hypertrophy results. Part 8, Why the 30-minute rule disappeared. Because everyone differs in last meal timing, gastric emptying rate, training intensity, daily routines, so a universal rule like everyone must eat within 30 minutes simply doesn't reflect human physiology. Part 9, Final summary. You don't need to eat within 30 minutes. Within 1 to 2 hours is plenty. Total daily protein is what truly matters. 20 to 40 grams per meal, 3 to 4 times a day. Pre-workout protein also works. Fasted training, post-workout protein more important. Older adults may benefit from earlier intake, but total intake and consistency matter far more. Ending, protein timing matters far less than consistency. Missing the 30-minute mark won't make your muscles disappear. Your daily intake, your routine, your consistency, that's what grows muscle. The body isn't a precise clock. It's much more adaptable, much smarter. So don't chase the timer. Fuel your body in your own rhythm. Your muscles remember your effort.